Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of InterBrews. My name is Josh, and this is where I say it is your opportunity to support the podcast if you enjoy the podcast and you're listening to it, so why wouldn't you? You can help support craft beer audio in the Houston and surrounding areas for as little as $1 an episode. We have more options coming soon. I had somebody inquire about Bitcoin, giving a Bitcoin, and I was like, what's a Bitcoin? But then I looked into it, so that might be an option coming up later. But for as little as $1 an episode, or maybe even just a single, gift or donation, or however you want to do it, I'm going to make all those options available. However you feel led. Anyway, that's enough of that. So patreon.com/interbrews or interbrews.com/Patreon if you'd like to support. If not, just thanks for listening. Now let's get on to the show.
The following is a presentation of Stewed Productions.
I'm Jered.
I'm Chris.
And this is InterBrews. We're at Megaton. Woo!
This is InterBrews.
All right.
Kingwood, Texas.
Hey, yeah.
Hey, man.
Hey,
This is good stuff. Megaton Brewery.
Thanks
Guys,
for coming out.
No, thank you for having me. So we're sitting in I was gushing a little bit before, but your fantastic tap room. This is
Greatly appreciated.
This is cool. There's a lot of work and thought and engineering and all kinds of stuff that went into just this atmosphere right now. Before we even get to the beer, I'm saving my first sip for just a second. But Jered and Chris, guys, this is badass.
All the things.
Thank you.
Yes.
So here we sit on the precipice of the fall. It's still late summer in the greater Houston area, so it's still very, very, very hot for at least another 8 months or so until the actual fall hits. But
Our small equator problem.
yes, but you guys are now up and running and serving beers and welcoming in beer lovers in an area that needed more beer, and you're here to serve. So let's get the story. How did Megaton explode onto the scene, eh? I'm sorry.
Well, I think our story is we are the brewery that almost never was.
Okay.
We were pretty close to opening, about 4 months, and we got some very bad news from our local fire marshal. And we lacked an important component, and that would be a fire hydrant.
Oh, okay.
So we spent better part of 2 years constructing a 20,000-gallon water tank and fire suppression and
Wow.
all new septic. Just a whole lot of infrastructure was required that initially was not in the plan. And so almost 20 months later, we opened our doors to the public, and we feel very lucky to be here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's one of those things that nobody will ever notice until that you would notice if you didn't have it when you needed it.
Yes.
So it's like nobody's going to come and say, man, I really dig your septic. And
It's something we love to point out.
Yeah.
It's gold to
Yeah.
us.
Yeah.
So
we really, dude, your fire suppression is on point.
it's very, very sexy.
It does. Not a lot of those.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
the
a first.
Yes. Maybe the fire chief coming in from out of town be like, hey, I was checking that out. And,
Your Knox box is lovely.
Yes, yes.
it's not a lot of that, but I'm glad you got it just in case.
Yes.
So good for that. But you persevered. You
Yeah.
pushed through, and now
Yes.
beer on the table. Tell me about your latest.
Sure.
Smells amazing. I always wait for that first sip.
Yeah,
on mine,
so
I can just-
this is our New England,
Mm.
Diamond City. Lots of fun water chemistry going on in there to make haziness, and all kinds of hop whirlpool addition. I think, just taking a step back, is we have part of what we brew here in test, and we call it evergreen. We brew new things all the time. And so every other day, we are bringing something new to the menu. And we operate very much like a beer kitchen. That's kind of how we refer to it in-house. And so we do a lot of different things. This is our New England, and I'm enjoying our Atomic Chariot, which is our honey brute brewed with with local honey and champagne yeast.
Okay.
Yeah, so we try to do something new and different all the time. So part of the plan is that you'll come here and enjoy something, and the next time we may not have it, but we'll bring it back, and that's kind of part of the churn. Something new that's on the board all the time.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we have some standard things. Mass Appeal, as an example. That's our, summertime sessionable. It's a light Belgian pale. And that's in the name. It's for everyone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, good. Yeah, it's a good hot weather beer. We'll sample on that soon.
Only 115 with the heat index.
That's it. But it's a wet heat. So it's fine. It's like wearing a blanket every day outside in the sun.
Yeah, that's right.
A wet blanket. Chris, what's your background? Where are you from?
I'm originally from Dallas. I am a transplant.
When did you move here?
I moved here about 5 years ago now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I moved from Philadelphia, actually. So.
Oh, wow. How was that? That seems like Philly,
that was
Dallas.
Yeah, no, that was bad. Wearing Cowboys jerseys around, not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was threatening to say the least.
So,
Eagle
you seem to
steers.
you seem to have made a full recovery and
Yes.
not traumatized.
Yes.
At least I don't think so. We're just starting the show.
And I never lost my Southern charm either, so that was a good thing.
Okay.
So yeah, we actually Jered and I started brewing together. What was it? 5 years ago now.
Yeah,
And
just
that's
over. Yeah.
yeah, and that's how we met. Our wives are very good friends,
Okay.
and I think Jered needed a brewing partner and asked if I wanted to brew because the girls were hanging out, and he's like, "Why not? Why don't we hang out too?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
We found a great place to do some brewing, and in fact, some of the beers that we have today are a result of that. Getting together, and I'm a little bit longer in tooth than Chris is, and so it was a great opportunity for him to really kind of skip all the bad habits that people learn when they homebrew.
Yeah.
And we went right into all grain, and then kind of honing our craft into, like I said, much of what we serve today really started there.
Yeah,
They,
and it made my job from where we brewed a lot easier because I was taking care of a piece of property,
yeah.
and having cold homebrew on tap on the property made life a whole lot easier.
Yes. Now that should be. I don't know if it should be a rule, but definitely one of those pro tips.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. 12
prop-
acres in homebrew is okay.
Yeah. Yeah. 12 acres. That's a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
I've got like a quarter acre for my yard, maybe. Maybe. Yeah, and that's about enough for me.
Some of the mowing lines aren't exactly straight.
Yes.
Yeah.
Fences were broken. Weed eaters into the pond. So
on purpose, or they just
Yeah.
those string trimmers, man.
yeah, it just flew out of my hand somehow. I don't know.
I've done the string trimmer chunk. It's
Yeah.
over the fence. In fact, before they developed the behind it, I think there was two buried out there. I was just done. It's one of those things. Like there's not like a foolproof string trimmer. I know we don't do a lot of string trimmer talk on this show.
Yeah.
Maybe we should do more, but now's a good opportunity as any. But like, you can get the ones that the automatic feed the string, but then the too much string or it gets all jumbled
Wonky
up.
and
Yeah. And then you have you can replace the actual piece, the bigger pieces of plastic or whatever.
Yeah.
And those break, and so you're stopping every little bit. I've got an electric one now that's it's 40 volt. It's a
Yeah.
battery operated.
Oh yeah.
It's okay. I had to get an aftermarket head for it and everything.
Yeah, there's nothing like gas powered.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's true. If your arms aren't numb once you're done,
Yes, that's right.
Did you really do it?
You feel the little tinglies in your fingers.
Yeah, for at least.
But beer helps that.
It does.
That makes that go away.
It does.
Forget about it.
One
Yeah.
of the fun things we talk about is how many non-brewery things are required to operate a brewery.
Yeah.
So we were talking about septic, and there's quite a bit of ditch digging
Yeah.
to irrigate the property here.
It's a rite of passage
It
at
is.
Megaton. You
Yeah.
are hired, you're ditch digging.
That's paying of dues. Yeah,
Really?
yeah. There's a little bit of that.
Try to get on in March
That's
Yeah.
yeah,
as opposed to the middle of July or
yeah,
August.
yeah.
That's so. How many ditches do y'all? Like, how much of this property back here is this? How far back is it? Just to the where it's
Yeah, you can
finally
see.
kept.
It's kind of tough to talk about on the radio, but
Sure.
there's a clear growth line here where our property ends.
Okay.
But this was all grown in. And our kind of fun story is that this parking lot behind us was a collection point for a lot of weird activity going on.
Yeah?
Yeah, it was quite secluded. And so there's, some, well, we won't go into too much detail there, but you could use your imagination.
Yeah.
And so we whacked the forest, right, and made this all open and put in security lights. And for a period of time, it was still the place to do some extracurricular activities, let's just say.
But, if you do that now, we got you on camera.
Yeah, we got you on camera now.
We're going to point and laugh. So
So they would like bring their own chalk and do like Foursquare and
Oh, yes.
hopscotch and things like that.
Yeah, gin rummy.
yes,
That's right.
You can't. Those-
childish things.
Yes. So we hit the corner, and it's like, oh, my goodness, what the heck is
What are you
going
doing in
on
the grass
here?
over there? Stop it.
It is kind of strange, some of the things that we've caught people doing back here. But those days are gone.
Yeah.
It's our place now, and not the community. What is that? Lovers Lane? Yeah.
Yes.
Let's just clean that up.
It gives the place history, right? Or a story.
That's
so what's the
right.
story with this place? Oh, well, let's.
Do you
go.
have 2 hours?
Yes.
Yes, we have other offline stories we can share.
Okay. InterBrews after dark. Turn the lights down low.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into what got. Well, you said you all homebrewed together, and that used to be. I've been doing we were talking about how long I've been doing the podcast before, and it's been about 7 years. And in
Right.
the brewing world, I don't know if it's dog years or not, but that's a world of change, just in the Houston beer scene and that sort of thing. And
Explosive change.
yes, and how breweries open and what the model is when you're looking at it and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But that used to be the story with everybody, because there were no other breweries to model after and that sort of thing. Everybody started with home brewing.
Sure.
And I think I think that you need that freedom and that area to just kind of hone your own personality in the beer and stuff in home brewing that you just couldn't get if you were to just learn at some school or at a commercial brewery and that sort of thing. They're going to have their pilot systems, but home brewing, that's
Yeah,
You can
kind of
just-
express your own ideas through the beer.
artistic
It's the
flair.
beer. It is indeed. And that's a really great talking point, I think, which is we love very much this aspect of beer being part artisanal and part technical.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's artistic expression, but then there's also, the maths, as we joke, right?
Yeah.
And so there's computation and important consistency and sanitation, all different sorts of things.
Yeah.
So those together in one medium is what we love, indeed.
Yeah. Well, way back when, we're drinking a Nipa and you've got a Brute,
Yes.
both relatively new.
Yes. Very fresh.
What were y'all brewing back in the day? What was
Well, that beer right there, he has been talking about since I met him.
really
Sure.
That Atomic Chariot was always, we're going to do it.
Yeah.
with the champagne yeast
Yep.
in the whole?
That's, more than 12 years.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's another beer that we brew named Motherlode, and that is a port wine porter.
Okay.
And so I've been brewing versions of that. I just say all of my adult life.
Yeah. Port wine porter. Walk me. So is it
Yeah.
I know what a porter is. I know what a port wine is. But
Sure, it's
how do
a
they make a baby?
sure it in a way, and it's a Baltic,
Okay.
porter, and then we use a ruby red port wine, and just enough to give it a slight change in color, a slight red hue, and that raisin ruby finish, right? That sickly sweet is perfect. We don't currently have that on tap. It's a little warm right now, although we are serving an imperial milk stout.
Yeah.
So there are some people who really care little about the season.
Yeah.
They're like, I want it. So we have Bunker Buster,
Uh-huh.
and so that's 8.8% ABV, lots of lactose sugar, Mexican cinnamon.
Yeah.
You know, it is indeed adult candy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It's wild to think about that you've been that beer for that long. When we think, okay, brewed IPA it's a new trend. I mean, what's this year, last year? I don't know. I mean, as far as like relevance and like out there, where you see them all, around.
Well, this is funny. If I could, comment on that.
Mm-hmm.
People are brewing sours a lot more. Berliner Weiss,
Mm-hmm.
but that style of beer is quite ancient.
Mm-hmm.
And it's something new that has had a resurgence in popularity.
Yeah.
And the brewed is no different.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay. Education for me today. I love it. That's it makes sense. As many different personalities in the beer game, brewing, and you're going to get it from all angles, and people are going to see it, and that's the cool thing, and that's why we got so many styles. And,
yes.
People from different geographical locations and different influences, and you're in a place like Houston in this area where it's so muggy, it's going to push you to do something different than you would if you were in, like, I don't know, Michigan or
environmental,
the Northwest or something.
But there are some breweries, they position themselves to do very different things.
Mm-hmm.
And so we have some really great breweries local to us.
Yeah.
And they do their thing, and we do ours. And, we love what they do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a wonderful, supportive community. I mean, I could not speak more to that. And so I have some folks that they went to my alma mater. I went to graduate school at the Conrad Hilton College.
Okay.
So I have background in hospitality and kind of a culinary background.
Cool.
And so sometimes you get to meet some of those folks. And so there's a fellow over at Eighth Wonder there, and he and I are kind of compare notes about our days at school. Although we went at different times.
Yeah.
I'm a little older than he is.
Yeah. No, that I think that's soup. Like when you hear about people's backgrounds, you hear of like, we're not far from back pew.
Right.
Bobby, it was
Yes.
doctoral in something's way over my head, and people that have done like from the oil and gas and engineering work, take a very engineering approach to it and that sort of thing. Business people like Brock, it's like all these different areas, and when the industry you came from, that's so much to it when you talk about people in your tap room and enjoyment of, because I mean it's one thing just to sit down and somebody hand you a beer. I mean that's cool, thank you very much. But there's so much more that goes into it when you talk about the atmosphere, people you're with. You may sit at a table with people you've never met, and what are the likelihood of you getting in a conversation with them? Well, I don't know. It really depends on the seating and the atmosphere and kind of the vibe of the whole place. There's so much that goes into it. So I don't know of anybody else off the top of my head that comes from hospitality and that sort of thing. And that I think that's really awesome. So I think that's
the whole design of the tap room is to have people conversate with each other. We got these nice soft chairs, for everyone to sit around a table and
lounging,
have a good time.
Yeah.
The theme of this place, just to be specific, is this is a steampunk fallout shelter.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of in our name, right? It is a unit of explosive force for a nuclear weapon, but also we reference heavily in the Fallout game universe. And so growing up, had a family member that owned an arcade.
Cool.
And so that Fistful of Quarters was my first babysitter.
Yeah.
And Chris is a huge gamer. He's a complete nut.
Yeah. My first babysitter was N64, so, or my computer, playing Fallout 1, 2,
Sure.
What was your favorite N64 game?
It's GoldenEye.
Yeah,
all day.
Oh man, we used to get in heated arguments over GoldenEye.
Well, if you played as Oddjob, you were cheating. Sorry, that is unfair. Oddjob was off the table for anyone that played with us.
Right.
So,
but that was really I don't know if it was the first, but one of the first where you could all gather around, play against each other, and just murder one another.
It was a great
Which is
time.
what you want to do with your friends.
Broken controllers were a weekend thing.
Yeah.
You're going to GameStop or KB Toys, whatever it was back in there.
KB Toys, yeah.
Buying a new controller. it's been a lot of fun. That's why we want people to come here. We've got a Marvel vs. Capcom 2 game.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is meant for people to play with each other.
All of our games are free play.
Yeah.
Cool. Right.
Oh, wow, cool.
So, we just hung up an Xbox on the wall. We got that. We were playing Call of Duty Zombies the other day, so that was a big hit for us. It's just fun to get people to interact with each other.
Yeah. That's cool. And that's, family environment at a brewery and a tap room is really important. I say it a lot, and it's not a new thing. Like everything that's that was once a thing is new again. It classically, when you would go to the beer garden or whatever back in the old country, that's what it was, a family gathering place.
Mm-hmm.
And y'all are putting that together here, and so that's
Pets and kids.
pets and kids.
Yes.
Both on leashes though, right?
100%. Yeah, that's we are in a community where that's part of the expectation of what we do.
Yeah.
And so to not do it really wouldn't work. So we have a great outdoor space. We have a 5,000 square foot covered space.
Yeah.
Where we food truck and we have games and this great patio and
Shaded and it's
that's so important.
big green trees and everything around the whole. I mean, it was really. It's inviting when you come in. You're like, oh, this is nice. It's inviting. I'm like, I'm ready to do this show. Let's do this. This is.
There you go.
I feel invited. Feeling just comfortable.
Cool.
Yeah. No, it's it is. It's cool. It's just cool. And this area, I imagine a lot like I'm in Cypress. The area's outside of Houston. Houston is great. I love Houston. I love going into Houston, but then I love getting out of Houston, getting back to my neighborhood and that kind of thing. And this is Kingwood and what else are we close to? Humble's kind of sort of close, right? And
absolutely.
All of these it's family oriented areas.
100%.
You got a big neighborhood just like right across the street, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, yeah. They're here all the time. They drive up on golf carts.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's cool. We have a lot of golf cart people in our neighborhood, and I want one. But then we went and had 3 kids instead of just 2. And you always have to get an extra seat. So that's
you get the bench seat in the back.
Yeah.
You can fit 3 kids.
yeah.
on there.
What? You're right. You're right. I just wasn't trying hard enough. I was worried too much about safety.
Safety.
Yeah. You know what? Learn to hang on. It's survival of the fittest. That sort of thing.
Come on, back in the day, they didn't even have seat belts in cars. So,
That's true. We would just stand up in the back,
That's
roll
right.
around like in the station wagon.
Yeah, you sit looking at the traffic.
Yeah.
Coming right at you.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah, we did. We had 2 station wagons. So there was one that had the seat facing towards the back, like, oh, we're about to get rear-ended. Oh, and there's a bumper in my lap. Or the two facing each other.
Oh yeah.
And like those metal. I always remember those metal seat belt, the lap belts. They got so hot.
Oh yeah. They call those suicide seats.
Yeah.
The old S10s had them.
Yeah, and you would and putting that seatbelt on, if you put it on, just burn your skin.
Oh, yeah.
And you wear, because everybody's wearing those little short shorts with the stripe down the side. You'd sit on, they burn your leg, and then the little thing on the seams that would pinch, the little plastic.
Yeah.
You were like playing out a scene in Stranger Things right now.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Metal slides at the park. Yeah.
That's right.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, you get to douse those with water before you go down.
Nobody gave that much thought, I guess. They
Lawn
were
darts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Put your feet around that. Don't move. They're just a little rusty. It's fine. It's fine.
It's okay. Don't worry about that chain that's about to break on the swing.
That's
That's
fine.
good.
Yeah, you're only gonna fall so far. It's fine. It's fine. Yeah, dude, playgrounds used to be dangerous. Everything's made of metal, rusty,
That's right.
splintery wood or whatever.
Candy cigarettes.
Yeah. Yes. I remember sitting in my treehouse with candy cigarettes, hiding. I don't know. I don't know if I wasn't supposed to have them, but I went and got some.
Yeah. I mean, we were on a bus one time driving back from a field trip, and we all had candy cigarettes in the back, like you blow smoke, like the powder.
Yeah.
They called our school saying kids are smoking on your bus.
Candy cigarettes. I mean, just the thought of that. Who put that out? It's like, what we should do? We should market these to children.
Yes. Big League Chew.
Marlboro.
Yes.
You little devils.
Yeah, the gum division or whatever, the candy division of Marlboro or Winston or
Candy. That's funny.
we want something for the whole. They were like, we want something for the whole family. It was that same sort of vibe.
You want to be
right?
cool like mom and dad? Here you go.
Yeah.
Here's some bubblegum cigarettes.
Yeah, there was the bubblegum ones and there was the candy ones, like they were just like sugar, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, super
That's
healthy.
hilarious.
Yes. Well, okay. What else? Let's talk about more. Well, okay. First of all, when are y'all open currently? And this podcast will live on forever and ever.
Sure.
And ever. So,
Yeah, so we're open 4 to midnight on Fridays.
okay.
And then noon to midnight on Saturdays. And then coming September 8th,
Uh-huh.
noon to 6 on Sundays.
Football season.
Nice.
Football season. So we're actually working on a new screen right now.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'll be hung up today.
Yeah, we have 2 massive projection screens for games.
So we don't have Texans and Astros fans yelling at each other saying what
Yeah.
we want to watch.
Yeah,
Right.
that happens.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that brings the likelihood of a stabbing way down. A friendly. I mean, mostly most people are pretty friendly, but
Yeah.
every once in a while,
Yeah.
somebody,
Well, right now we got to give it to the Astros fans. They're a winning team.
Yes.
So
Oh man, this last stretch of the season and into the playoffs is going to be bananas. So
and that's a great time for us. We love having baseball on in here. It's a great atmosphere.
yeah,
And live music,
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
way, too. We
Yeah.
do a
Oh,
lot
yeah,
of
that's
live
right.
music, and
You
when
got
the
somebody-
weather permits outdoors.
yeah.
Mhm.
Is it this weekend or next week? You've got somebody coming up. I just saw. Or actually, you had like 3 or 4.
Yeah, we have someone every Saturday, pretty
Uh-huh.
much.
Yeah.
Open mic at times.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, once a month for open mic. We have Epic Acts come out,
Cool.
which is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
That is crazy.
Yeah.
People go absolutely crazy. I don't know if you can clean that up.
Yes.
Whatever I hate.
Beer and axes. You ever thought that was a good idea?
Right.
Yeah, they love it.
It.
They
What's
do.
cool, right?
It is.
Let's,
It's fun.
let's chunk this sharp
Yeah.
metal object at that big wooden board.
We had women show up here with their own axes.
Really?
Yes.
I didn't even know that was a thing. Now
They
it's
were
all
ready. Yeah.
Cottage industry.
Well-behaved husbands.
Yeah, I bet.
Yes.
I bet. Yeah, I don't even want to think. Like I don't want my wife to get into that.
Yeah, you'll see a knife fly by your nose.
Yeah.
Like, you
You.
behave.
Yeah, it's not a knock on my wife. It's a knock on me. I know me, and then her response. I know how that goes. So the last thing I need to do is give her an axe. But that sounds fun, though.
Yeah.
It's a great time. You should come out.
Yeah.
That's cool. I think with those, like going back to the Astros, we have a really, really good team, like really good pitching,
Mhm.
Sure.
and a community team like that, and a sport like baseball, is one of those things you need to watch around other people who are also cheering for your team. It's not like being in Philadelphia and cheering for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Going out and watching in public would be.
Hey, if you're in Philadelphia and you're cheering for the Eagles, it's a crazy thing.
Yeah.
Like I've never seen a sports city like that.
Yeah.
That right there. But I'll tell you what, Houston, the Astros fans are just as good, if not better, than Philly fans because they are sticking behind their team no matter what.
Yeah.
Unlike Philly, they like to, you're losing, y'all suck. But here we're like, okay, we suck, but it's okay. We're still going to support you.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
Right.
It's good. It's good. No.
Well, I mean, for a long time, we've had good teams in the past, but not. We have, a World Series 2 years ago.
Right.
We've got to be. I don't know if we're the favorite. Well, I think we are the favorite when you look at pitching going into the playoffs
Yeah,
and that sort of thing. We're
absolutely.
really built for that. But, when you watch at a place where other people are into it, and baseball in particular, because it does have its lulls, and that sort of thing gives you time to talk and, commercial breaks in between pitches and pitching changes.
That's a
and-
great point. That's true.
yeah, it's it's different than say like basketball's fun, but you're kind of immersed in the game or a fight or something like that, which I love. All those sports, watching. It's fun to watch people watch those sports too, but baseball in particular, it's kind of a cool. You sit around and you can talk about what just happened because it takes them a minute and a half between each
Yeah.
pitch and that sort of thing. And what are they going to throw again here? Hey, what are you drinking? Oh, okay, and then you can kind of go back and forth and all that kind of stuff. So it's a good place to meet like-minded, beer-loving baseball fans.
We just had our Astros glass release too.
yeah.
Yeah, so that's where the Diamond City name came from. Thinking about baseball references in Fallout 4, there's a city called Diamond City. It's Fenway Park in
That's right.
Boston. So,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and Megaton City.
yep,
Really?
Yeah.
yep.
I think what console was Fallout? Was it on?
Well, Fallout 4 is on the new ones, and then
Okay.
Fallout 3 was on PlayStation 3, Xbox 360,
Were any of them like Fallout 1? What era? was
computer,
it? Just computer.
old school.
PC.
Nothing on PlayStation 2 back in the day.
Fallout Tactics, but that's kind of not canon
Oh,
to nerds.
I'm sorry.
So,
Okay, I won't even bring it up. I feel bad. So is Fallout your favorite game of all time?
one of them, universe-wise, yeah.
Okay. What are you playing now? Like when you leave work today, should you leave work today?
I don't have time to play video games
Yeah.
anymore.
Yeah.
It's like,
we're here till 9
Yeah.
o'clock at night, and with my other job next door, it's there's no time to play. It's go home and sleep and get up in the morning and do it again.
Yeah, we
Really?
have an event center next door, Nathaniel Center.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do some live music there, and then they finish up, and then there's just a parking lot and a trail right here to
I saw the trail.
the back door of our Fallout Shelter Brewery right here.
Nice.
Yeah.
You
So
need to take shelter.
It's in the plan. Just
That's
go
right.
to Nathaniel, have a nice concert, walk over here, come to Megaton.
After show.
And Megaton will be served here and there, so.
Cool. Okay, cool. Well, okay. Again, who knew? So, I guess you did.
Yes.
Yes.
Well, way to go, Kingwood. That's cool.
Yeah. We just opened the 30th of March was our opening day.
Uh-huh.
So it hasn't even been 6 months.
Yeah.
So we are very new, and we are still working on all these things. And over time, we're going to get better. We're going to have bringing together all the elements: sports, live music, food, games, all the things to try to offer a number of amenities for the community here at Kingwood.
It's opening a brewery because I was talking about cyber stalking you guys, which I did and still do, along with the normal stalking. But it's got to be one of the toughest things because from the jump, you're right there in the public eye. When you get your license to actually do the work,
Sure.
it's posted and everybody's like, "Oh, when you opening?" Dude, we're getting our fire suppression system.
Right.
I mean, we were really quiet about everything.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We waited until really to go on social media and our website and all of that. So it was created but not published.
Right.
So we did not want to do this thing where there is no facility, right? There's really not a brewery yet, but we're on Facebook and we're saying, yes, we're a brewery. And then what does everyone ask? Well, when are you opening? When can I come visit and try your product? And so we waited until we could actually deliver on that implied promise.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had the date picked, and then we're like, okay, publish. There you go.
Yeah.
Everyone, we're out in the open now.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's you see it done a few different ways, and that's some people are like showing homebrew, or pilot recipes and things like that, and some people like they go stealth as much as you possibly can, and then you kind of like, I wonder if that's still a thing, and then boom, there they go. There's, I think it's interesting. It follows people's personalities, and just I don't know. What's the best business plan?
Well, I mean,
who knows?
Starting in the land of disappointment to me is wrong. You know, I don't want to be there. I don't want to be like, hey, we're a Megaton Brewery, we're out and about, and then 2 years later we open. That's not cool. I don't want to do that to people.
Yeah, we did. We got a big delay.
Yeah.
And so that, we really didn't want to go out there and have to constantly explain that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the delay goes, there's really no way to avoid that type of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just. I think that's what the internet allows people just to kind of go nuts every once in a while with expectations and demands. Like, listen, I'm sitting in my room or I'm taking a poop or something. I need answers now.
Yeah, some warriors.
It's and it's try opening a business, and I guarantee like real people that have, at least proxied opening a business or whatever, they're going to be a lot more understanding to that sort of. It just.
Sure.
It's tough. It's. I can't imagine. A podcast was hard enough. I decided I wanted to do a podcast, and it took me like a year just to finally get a first episode up back then, because I didn't really know what to do. But there was no I guess podcasting is just home brewing. But you have to put it out there. But it was, that getting anything started, especially a new thing, that's a battle, every day. But,
on a number of levels.
Yeah. Harkening back to that, what would you say was the biggest challenge? Maybe one you didn't see necessarily, or one that surprised you, or if there was, and what positive thing surprised you that you were like, this is going to be cool, but you didn't realize something was going to be, this is.
Well, I think the biggest challenge we've already kind of discussed, that's around code and local statute, this type of legal environment.
Right.
We tried everything that we could to get a water main pulled onto our property here for a fire hydrant, and that just did not work out. And so that's what that big tank is about. It's our personal fire hydrant, and we have as we talk about a pump that runs that system. The pump alone is $80,000, kids. Okay,
wow.
So that's the most difficult burden to bear, honestly, right? On the positive side of that coin, however, are the little things. And if you're in this business, and I know that the people who are in the business, when they hear what I'm about to say, is very true, is that when you get to experience vicariously the enjoyment of your product and all the work that you put into the space and all of that, and they're really touched by it, and they feel the level of detail, attention to detail, and everything that we put in, blood, sweat, and tears, right? And their joy fuels you, right? And so there's no half-assing it; it's all in, right? So you got to commit totally to this. It doesn't happen on a weekend. Like, I have a 50-hour-a-week job, and then on the weekends I'll just open up a brewery like this. It just didn't work that way. So we get a lot of satisfaction through people enjoying our space here and our product, right? And that goes a long way. And I don't know how else to put it, but that's kind of why we do this.
Yeah, that's cool.
And just Kingwood community in general around us, Northeast Houston, has been awesome. They've come out every weekend. Our first opening day was insane. Way more than we thought that it would bring in.
Yes.
It was, our POS system went down.
Oh my gosh!
The
we have to talk
first
about
in
this now.
15 minutes before we opened, and I've never seen Jered sweat so much in his life.
It was actually 8 minutes.
Okay, but it was just insane. We're calling everyone. We're like, and so actually the rep actually showed up here and was handing out card readers for us, trying to get everyone in line, paid up. But it took almost 3 hours to get back online,
Yes.
and it was a nationwide outage.
Oh, wow.
So it was like, why did it have to be this day?
Total chaos.
Yeah, everybody was feeling it, but you guys were just lucky it was on your...
Yeah, we're like, hey, people are drinking our beer. This is awesome.
Our staff performed admirably. They were so incredible. They rolled with the punches.
Yeah.
There were some frowny faces. I mean, let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But on the whole, it was an incredible day that we will never forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's,
indelibly.
I mean, you wouldn't want to redo that with the, with the POS going down, but, it's a cool story. It's one of those things where you look back and you're like, hey, remember that time we opened up and then it all went to shit?
Yeah. We almost didn't make money that day.
Yeah.
It's like we've been waiting all this time.
Gosh, it was insane.
Yeah. But that's one of those stories where you're like, that it kind of brings you together as a team, and,
Yes.
and it's kind of the lore of Megaton.
Yeah.
So the name Megaton, obviously a bomb.
Yes.
What was the thought process, the creative process, and everything to go with
Oh, that's a great question.
all this?
We tell the story. It was not the first name. So there was another name entirely. I received a very nasty cease and desist letter about that.
That sounds fun.
Thou shalt not name this unmentioned name. And so it was a rough week. We had another location, and we had a different name, and both of those were lost in 1 week.
Wow.
So pretty big setback before we even got started.
Yeah.
Right?
Was that? I'm sure that tested your, you had to really think, oh, do we really want to do this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's human to kind of, what are we doing here, right? So I'm a horrible sleeper, and didn't really have a lot of sleep, and so kind of burned the midnight oil trying to find something new, and really how do I say this? I'm a science fiction nut. That's kind of my thing, and the art genre of science fiction is steampunk. And so kind of pulling from that, doing a lot of research about what the brewery name could be. And then also the practical things, like, have a lot of great names, but you have to go to the U.S. Patent and Trademark Office and search that. Oh, someone already thought of that.
Right.
So so when I came across the name, I thought, well, first, it's so much better than what we had. And then, can we actually execute on this? Can we get, the trademark? And indeed we could, in the beer space. That's, ours forever, right?
Yeah.
And then from that comes, all of the references, right?
Yeah.
And so the gaming universe, right? And, kind of the obvious, this kind of what we refer to as an energetic brew pub,
Yeah.
right? And so all of those things. And then in the naming conventions of our beers and all of this, right? So our Berliner Weiss is Nukaschein, and that's the bar in the Fallout universe, right? So we capitalize on all those together. And the thing that I love the most is that it's across generational.
Yeah.
So there are people who are a little older who get the energy weapon reference, if you will. But then those that are younger are clearly they know that's Megaton City, right?
Yeah.
And they look at some of the beer names and all of this, and so they get it from that aspect. And that's what I love about it the most. It's really hitting on a number of cylinders at different folks and where they take the name.
Yeah.
And then lastly, the thing that we love is kind of a joke is that it's a common confusion about Megatron,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And so Ben Full at Brash Brewing Company went on Facebook and said, 1 R away from the best brewery name ever. And so that's a T-shirt that's coming, guys.
Yeah.
And so we kind of love that too.
Yeah. Has any, well, I don't know, when you play Fallout, or when the last time you got to play, do you play online? I'm assuming that you ever?
76 is online, but they're bringing out a patch in a few weeks that will be totally revamping the game, so I'll jump back in when that happens.
Do people in the Fallout community know about your brewery?
Yes, they bring bottle caps.
Yeah, it took them a month to do it, but someone brought in bottle caps and paid for a beer, and I allowed it, and I was like,
once.
I've been waiting for this to happen, and this is the only time you can do it. Don't think you're going to come from Austin and bring me more bottle caps.
Yeah, everyone listening, that happened once.
Yeah,
we take legal currency.
So well, and just going back to the name, just real quick, is we had a guy, last name was Smith, sitting over here at our marbleized table. And he actually worked on the Bombers. Yeah. And he was talking like, oh, yeah, I love the name, blah, blah. And someone had left, a $20 bill and said, hey, pay it forward to who you want. And I was like, I walked over and I had a little interaction with him. And I went back behind the bar and I was like, that man gets his beer for free. Do not let him leave and make him pay.
Yeah.
And no, we got a really nice letter from him 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and that was
Smith.
really cool. Yeah. Really neat interaction with someone that, was like, thank you for, the free beer, and sent him a hat.
Yeah, he says he works with stuff that goes boom.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's cool. Does he live in this area, like in the Houston area?
No, his family does. He was here visiting,
Okay. Yeah, that's a cool story.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When it comes to stuff like that. And that's, I mean, how old was this guy? Is he like old school?
Probably
like
60s.
Okay,
Yeah.
so, yeah, back when, I don't know, the people who work on bombs, I don't know what, it doesn't seem like the same thing. It used to be like old school bombs. You'd have to like hammer in like rivets and things like that.
Yeah. Tap in the rivet on the warhead.
Dangerous
Don't hit
work.
too hard.
Yeah. I've seen enough Bugs Bunny cartoons.
Yeah.
I know what happens.
Acme Corporation.
Yes. But I don't know if that's, I don't know if it has the same, I feel like there's robots involved or something now. I mean, I don't know how many robots y'all get at the brewery.
I actually used to work inside Raytheon's. And kind of a hospitality service thing around Raytheon Space and Airborne Systems.
Oh, cool.
And they have a clean room where they build the drones and all of this. And it's part robot and part human hand. that puts all of that together. Pretty amazing stuff going
Yeah.
on inside of those facilities.
Yeah.
We're not quite at Skynet yet.
Not yet.
We're
Not
getting
yet.
there, kids.
Yeah, we're getting there.
There's no doubt.
They were way off on a tangent here, but the Chinese government and their social, currency thing that they're
Silicon
doing.
Valley is right
Yeah.
there with it.
I know,
you
right?
know?
That's
Whoa.
insane. Where you can go and where
I'm watching
eat.
Black Mirror.
Yeah.
Black Mirror is living out
It's that.
in our reality. It's
Yeah,
scary.
That is scary.
it is.
Yeah.
right? 'Cause-
Whatever you come, whatever your background is, that should be scary.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, it's just going to take one super rich guy to decide he doesn't like beer,
Yeah.
and then then we have to grab the pitchforks. And
I doubt that will ever happen.
I hope. You never know, though. Might be somebody who's just all you should drink is water and
Whiskey.
or something.
Like,
Yeah,
hey, at least we could make it, if we
That's
ever
true.
had to.
yeah. You got enough.
But we do not. It's only beer here.
Right. Totally different licenses.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Starts kind of similar,
How?
but then it.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no. Is there boiling involved in whiskey? I mean, there's distilling, right? It's in a still, and then for a different reason. There's no hops. There's no hops.
I think they
Yeah.
do some of that like for craft.
Dogfish
things.
makes a hopped gin,
Okay.
which is really actually very tasty.
Yeah. Yeah. No. I'm not a huge whiskey or bourbon drinker. Actually, our last episode was at Whitmire's though, and that was
Oh yeah.
it was really
Wow,
good.
wow.
There was some stuff.
We definitely need some barrels from Whitmire's, so
Yeah.
you put in a good word for us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Travis. He's
Yeah.
probably listening. Maybe.
I'm friends with him
Travis,
on Facebook, even though we've
call
never
us.
met.
Yeah.
Yes.
Now they're that's a cool thing about them. They've been around for a little while. It's like 7 years for them. Like who knew? I mean, I didn't know until I did the show. I didn't realize how long it had been. And they're getting ready. They're looking around, maybe doing a new facility soon. That sort of thing.
No kidding.
We've got one right in our backyard too, Old Humble
Yeah.
Distillery. So
Yeah.
they were looking
Yeah.
for a new place.
I think they are. I think they're building a
Yeah.
new place.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This area has become a pretty badass. If you're into home brewing and beer and spirits and that sort of thing. I mean,
Yeah.
this 59 North.
I mean,
whatever. I don't know what you call it, the area, but
Well, we got the grain cellar with
Right.
Preston. We
Yes.
got Hop Stop
yep.
with Rick. So we have a lot of really good places to drink.
Yeah.
And people that make beer. Ingenious Us, Back Pew.
Yes.
So a lot of good things are happening.
I think for like just looking at the Houston area, Houston's so big. It's like how long does it take to get from Houston to Houston? It's like about an hour and a half to
Right.
get from this.
When you say Houston,
Yeah.
what are you
99
talking-
loop,
Yeah.
180 miles.
Yeah.
When it's finished.
Yes.
If they ever finish it now.
I
but-
love it. That's what I used to get all the way over here from way over like just south of Austin. But it's that's the coolest thing about what's going on with Houston and our beer scene. Like you look at a place like Austin and everything's kind of packed together because it's Austin. But then everybody, you get in your car to drive and you're just in the parking lot because they don't have the roads. But Houston has great roads. I mean, it looks like
comparatively. Yeah, I lived in Austin for a while.
Yes. And it's
So the Mopac is stupid.
Yeah. It really is. Seriously, you have to leave somewhere to get somewhere like 3 a.m. if you want to get there like 8. Just, you'll either be there 4 hours early or it's going to take you 4 hours to
Well,
get
that's
there.
the joke in Office Space where that was filmed, right?
Yeah.
That's on the Mopac.
Yes.
And it's just a parking lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that was what, 20 years ago?
Yeah.
25 years ago?
You're making me feel old.
Yeah.
Quit it.
No, but no.
PC load letter.
Right? It's fix the glitch. It's that was a long, but it's even worse now. Like they've expanded the roads a little bit, but
Yeah.
they just don't have the ability to do it. In Houston, they're like, yeah, we'll just make this like 9 lanes. It's cool.
Yeah. We got all the land in the world.
Yeah,
Let's go.
and we're not worried about keeping anything around. If
Yeah.
it's 5 years old, get rid of it. That's,
Yeah.
just knock it down. But our roads are laid out. It's like a map or like a target. You get downtown. and-
Concentric circles, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Look
And then
at
you're-
Holler's logo. It's
Yeah.
in their logo. It's pretty cool, actually. That was a good little nod to Houston, John.
And yes, and the cool thing about it is, like you come out here, you are. I don't know how far are we from Galveston here, like an hour and a half.
Hour and a half, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's far. But if you live in Galveston, and let's say you hang out there most of the time, and you go to the breweries down there most of the time, maybe you head up 45 little ways and Pearland
Sure.
in that area. But you come up to this area, well, you got 3, 4 places, 5, 6 places to visit in a day. Make a day of it.
The tours have started to come out here now.
Yes.
That never happened. I mean, that's really a new phenomenon.
Yeah. And I think it's great because you can come to Houston. Listen, if you're an out of towner and you come to Houston for a week, each day you could visit a different area, and it would take you all day. You know, Conroe's kind of that way. Over here's kind of that way.
Absolutely.
You know, Pearland down in that area is kind of...
And all those different experiences when you go to those places.
Yeah.
Right? And so we visited Fortress recently.
Yeah.
And so when you go to, Ingenious and Backpew and visit us, and you have these very different experiences all in the beer space. And the diversity within, the craft space is really awesome, and it's just exploding. There's more. I think someone in Lake Houston is opening up a new place.
And Huffman,
Yeah. So more and more that is, and originally I thought incorrectly that it was a bad thing, and I have changed my mind on that over the years, right?
Yeah.
And I realize how good it is. Everyone kind of has their tune in the chorus, right?
Yes.
And they do their own unique thing, and then people get to appreciate the different aspects of craft and how they express themselves.
Yeah.
And,
Well,
all of that.
It was illustrated really well with the daisy chain.
Sure.
They've done it twice now. Sam out at Southern Star put it together, and everybody took that same yeast strain and then did wildly different things with it, right? And
nothing the same.
Yeah, and everybody put their own personality on it. Every different brewery, and it's you even got some same styles, but the beers were very different. And to be able to drink, if you could drink those side by side and compare, like, well, this is way different. They're the same style, and it's like that's what I love about the craft beer world is that each brewery has its own personality. You guys have a very unique personality here. Backpew, it's a unique personality and it's different, and it's. There is, I guess, is there competition in a sort of kind of in a way?
Sure.
But, I mean, there's so many people. There's so many people, like, just take Houston. Houston's got, 6 million people or something? 2 million in Houston proper in the area. I don't even know. 6, 7 million people? It's a lot.
Depends on how you define, Houston. The greater Houston area is multiple states and other parts of the country.
All the annex areas.
Yes. And so when you talk about all those people, and craft beer is becoming, I think it's reached the mainstream. When you see big corporations trying to copy it, I think it's officially mainstream. I don't think they execute well at all. I think there's something about it when you see it, it's like, oh yeah, there's that the soul is missing.
Craft with a K.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes.
I mean, you look at just a few years ago, all the Super Bowl commercials mocking craft beer from Budweiser and them, and then now it's like, oh look, we have a Jack Daniel's barrel aged Budweiser.
Yeah, copper. Or something.
Thanks.
And they've missed. They just can't do it. I mean, I'll give them kudos for the consistency of Budweiser all day long. I don't drink it, but I have to say, okay, yes, you're very consistent. Anywhere you brew that beer, it tastes like Budweiser. Cool, I guess.
Yeah, it's like Domino's Pizza.
Yeah.
You get a Domino's Pizza anywhere, it tastes the same.
Yeah, right. But you trying to get in here and do this, you're going to fail. And it shows. That's why people don't want that. They want authentic, community-based, their place. They want that third place. They want that.
And they know the difference.
Yeah, you can feel it.
They're sophisticated now. It's not like, what is this new thing?
Yeah.
The difference, I think, with the time where we have entered market, right, is the customer really knows what they want. Their expectations are much higher than ever before.
Yeah.
And then, they expect infinite change.
Yeah.
Right? So this, consistency is important, that you can replicate the thing that they have come to expect about something, right? Atomic Chariot and all this, but we tweak and improve.
Yeah.
And then, as I described before, evergreen. We're brewing all of these different things all the time in order to experiment, on the public. And that's what they want. They want to be the guinea pig and try something new and different every time that they walk in the door.
Yeah.
And that is, in itself, its own challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's interesting to see, like, IPAs, so many people drink IPAs. I mean, but the IPA spectrum is so wide. But then it's I remember when I first got into craft beer, it was St. Arnold got me into craft beer, and it was like their amber and their brown ale and the Texas wheat and that sort of thing. And when I tried that Alyssa IPA, I was like, I don't know where to categorize it. I don't even know what happened in my mouth there. I don't understand. I just kind of remember just looking at it like, do I enjoy this or not? And I remember like,
mine is Weed Whacker.
oh, it's a great beer.
I didn't mean to. Yeah.
No, but wait, they don't make Weed Whacker anymore.
I know.
It's taproom only.
Yeah, that Texas wheat. When they quit making Texas wheat, I shed a tear.
Yeah.
It was one of those things where, but I don't know that it would if it just stayed around. I don't know if I would hold it in the same place as I do. Just my taste and palate has changed, and but that's I think people's. I don't know what it is. Maybe like all the spent grains with all the hops in it have seeped into the water table or something. And people's ability to enjoy like hop forward beers and stuff, it's just more accepted, and people kind of like, okay, this is now a thing. It's weird. It's like it's weird in a good way.
Yeah.
But people seem to get past what my hangups were faster. People are learning that their palates are learning faster now or something. I don't know. Maybe I don't know.
I think it's the increasing level of intensity around something. Or an aspect of beer.
Yeah.
And so sours right now. And so my personal preference is to not have my face contort whenever I sip the sour.
Right.
But there are a lot of folks who they expect that.
Yeah.
Expect that. That's what they want. And so
they want that red wine vinegar,
So the level of what is accepted in IBU and how sour something can be, or whatever, that becomes more intense and concentrated in the palate expectation in market.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know, it's good though. I just it's just interesting conversations now where you talk about you want to try this new beer and like, well, I tried this other beer, and they go and talk about some like double dry hopped IPA or whatever was one of their first craft beers to try. I'm like, whoa, you jumped into the deep end. But
did you enjoy that?
Yeah. And sometimes they're like, yeah, I hear more of that. And so I don't know what it is. It's maybe, I don't know what it is. I like it. It's interesting. I love watching it as a spectator.
That was the Maharaja, Avery Brewing Company.
Yeah.
Colorado. The Maharaja was my, kind of breakthrough, hop beer. Hop forward beer, I should say.
Yeah.
And, by comparison, that, is not the extreme outlier that it was whenever they created that beer.
Yeah.
So there are many other competitors, if you will, or substitutions.
Yeah.
And it isn't, by comparison, as extreme as it once was.
Yeah. Something like an Arrogant Bastard or something like that.
Sure, Stone, yeah.
I don't remember the last time I had one. I don't remember. It's been a little while.
Yeah. Me too. I think we
last one we had, I think, was the rye barrel.
Everyone's nodding yes here.
It was the rye barrel, I think we had. It was probably 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Or actually, no, it was maybe Brash's when they brewed an Arrogant Bastard, which probably the last time I had it. But
yeah, that speaks to the craft beer industry, the beer industry in Texas and Houston and that sort of thing too. I think that's a big chunk of it. But if I, to go back and try just that classic Arrogant Bastard, would it be as abrasive and aggressive as I thought it was when I first tried it?
Like, you're not worthy.
Yeah, go drink your Sierra Nevada and see if
I had one of those the other day.
Yeah,
it was funny. My wife's cousin, she was like, hey, go to the store, get us some Texas beers. Well, she came back with Sierra Nevada.
What?
Blue Moon, and there was something. None of them were from Texas. And it's like two of those are craft.
This is a map.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what?
These beers from here?
Right. It's like, you know what? Blue Moon aside, I won't drink that. I just don't. It's a principle thing. I don't. But
here's your orange garnish.
Yes. But let's talk about this Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And I went on to this is the OG Pale Ale. This is this got it started. King Grossman went on the whole, and then as their eyes rolled, they're like, oh God, how long is he going to go on?
Here he goes again.
Yes. Smash cut to an hour and a half later. I'm like, and that's Sierra Nevada Pale Ale. And they're like, they've already drank them all. And I'm like, and taking a sip of mine. Yeah. It's like, oh, right. They got it. They're out in the pool. I'm just sitting here.
Just for everyone out there listening to this show, I have converted my own mother to being a hophead.
Yeah?
And so Voodoo Ranger from New
yeah.
Belgium,
Yeah.
she loves the hell out of that beer.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. Yeah, I find, I've seen like scientific studies, when I delve into scientific studies.
Mm-hmm. You're air quoting here.
Yeah.
Yes.
People get it.
Yeah.
They get it. Like the female palate in general, they tend to be able to pick up on different nuanced flavors and hops and things like that better. Like my wife is a huge double IPA fan.
She loves them. Yeah.
Same thing with color too. They're all about red's red to a dude, and oh no, that's
there's what shade are it? Let's get into that. There's
Mm-hmm.
thousands of shades, but that's it's like they can understand and appreciate it on a level that we would never be able.
My
to.
wife likes stouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, she can't really do the lactose, a lot of milk stout stuff, but she loves stouts. That's her style preference of what she likes to drink. Mm-hmm.
Nice. I like that. I like hearing that people like stuff. Right?
Yeah.
It's like if you like warm fuzzies, when they're like, I love that. And then it's like, go on.
Yeah, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also enjoy, someone shows up here and, they've exclusively had Bud Light and Coors Light and Michelob Ultra or something like this, right? And, they're like, someone brought me here, right?
Yeah.
And I don't know, do you have something that I can try?
Yeah.
And so
they're
have,
doing the "I'm new, I don't know what to do" face.
Yeah.
Jered loves to walk them into like, "Oh no, wait,
try this."
Yeah.
So give them a little taste, and then okay, and try this, and you're taking baby steps.
Yeah.
And so you can't jump into our Warhead.
Right.
Right.
No.
It's sour IPA. It's going to knock them right on their ass.
Do you
right?
ever do that? Like, you know what? Yeah, I could convert. Maybe we could walk them through and be very nice. But watch this.
Yeah.
Watch this face.
Oh no.
that
Yeah.
happened this past weekend."
Yeah.
It happens.
Or do you see it coming? Like maybe someone's like, I'll try that. Like,
Yeah, you're gonna hate this.
yeah, but
Well, they usually say it. They're like, "Hey, I know where I'm at.
Mhm.
Now I've looked around at the menu. You don't have anything for me, right? Do you have something that I might be able to drink and enjoy?"
yeah.
And so we have some, very accessible, sessionable, beers, mass appeal that I mentioned before. So that's something they can go, whoa, there's a lot in that, and it's something they haven't experienced in their fishing cooler.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And we try to keep
Tailgating.
We've adjusted what we keep on guest tap to just for that person. It's we try to keep a log or something.
Sure.
Something that we don't do a lot.
Yeah.
So fill the
It's
gaps.
so damn hot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's it's great. It's a moving target. We never know who's coming in, but
Yeah.
that's the fun of it.
And then we do the opposite of that. And we want something absolutely extreme, and
Yes.
that's really reaching the limits or
Yeah.
pushing the envelope or whatever. So something that we brew, or we find that someone else does something really well, and we'll try to find those those special beers, and then hold them in reserve and release at the right time.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Which, like our thick mint with a double C, we are holding in reserve our thin mint Girl Scout cookie stout. So that's gonna we're waiting to release that, and then when we do, they all show up and they drink it in like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's one of our most asked for. It's like, when is that coming back?
Yeah.
It's like, well, special. Watch our Facebook.
Right. I wonder if Girl Scouts have any idea.
They do.
Do they?
I mean, we went up. I bought every single box of
Yeah,
Thin
we
Mints
did.
from
Yeah.
the Kroger.
Uh-huh.
They love it.
And the ladies were like, "What are you doing with this?" We're like, "Oh, we're making beer out of it." They're like, "What?"
Yeah.
And I was like, "You should come out. It's pretty awesome." And they did. One of the parents came out and drank it, and they're like, "Wow, this is awesome."
Yeah.
So
That's
thanks for supporting the local Girl Scout troop and buying us all out, so we don't have to pay for them.
100%. Yeah.
Okay, so I haven't even asked, how big of a brew house do y'all have? And when you make how many boxes of Thin Mints does it take to brew?
I think it was around 20 boxes or
Yeah, for
24 boxes.
Like a barrel batch for 20.
Okay.
Yeah, that was small batch, but
Right.
we have a 15-barrel brew house.
Okay.
Just to answer that question.
Sure.
But a lot of the stuff we'll brew 1 or 2 barrels at a time, and special treatment, right? Adjunct, aging upon the fruits.
Yeah. So if you
and-
were to go full 15 barrels with the Thin Mint, that's like 300 boxes of Thin Mints.
Oh man,
We're
I wouldn't
know,
even want to see our plate chiller
Get
after
out of
that.
my mind. It's like it's coming, but not yet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be here that day.
And they
just
will
to
not
watch.
be Keebler grasshoppers, okay?
Yeah.
Well, let's make that very clear. They do not taste the same. They're
No.
going to be Thin Mints.
Thin Mints.
I don't even know what that is. I've never had one of those.
The store,
Yeah.
all year round Girl Scout cookie, air quoting.
Yeah.
So, just for our fans out there.
You should have a troop of Girl Scouts here when you do that. And, like,
We actually,
do
that would be a
sing-along
great
or
idea.
something.
There's a whole bunch of. We've got them lined up for next season,
Uh-huh.
so they know that we're gonna, buy them out by the box.
And we want the bulk discount too this time.
Yeah.
Very expensive.
Yeah. No kidding.
What? I don't even. Obviously, well, not maybe not obviously, but I'm going to put it out here on the table. I was never a Girl Scout, so
Well, I was a
No
Boy
con- yeah.
I was a Boy Scout and I had to sell popcorn, and no one buys popcorn.
No.
Sorry.
Or garbage bags.
The garbage
Yeah,
bags, yeah. The
yeah.
Girl
Or
Scouts
mulch.
win every time.
Yeah, or
yeah,
something like this.
Mulch, we have
Yeah.
the mulch guys come through.
Yeah.
What do they do? Crafts or some sort of project or something? Do they? I don't know what they do. Like, what could they do here at the brewery while the brewing is going on? Like, they would have a big I don't
The
know.
only thing I could think of is get an Eagle Scout in here to, touch up our floors or something like that. That'd be
know.
good.
I'm sure
I
there's
don't know.
some project, right? They have to get badges. Don't they
Yeah.
get badges?
I don't think that there's a brewery badge.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
there's no glycol badge, a plumbing badge, no.
No ditch digging badge.
Yeah.
Hey, girls.
Yeah.
Here you go.
That's not okay.
You
We're gonna have to edit this part out.
you each get your own shovel. Have fun. You know what? Just make it your own.
Right.
Make however you want. Patterns. It's totally up to you.
You can make a lake, a pond. We don't care.
Yeah.
As long as it holds water,
Yeah.
we're good.
We just got to, we got a runoff here. We got some runoff we
That's
got
right.
to get to deal with. So, you can pick the aggregate too. Whatever we put at the bottom here.
Colored pebbles. Here we go.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
it look like an aquarium.
They have some that glow in the dark.
Yeah.
The UV light hits them. That might
Yeah.
be kind of a cool.
Hey, we
thing.
have a shirt that glows in the dark. So
We do.
Do you?
Yeah.
There's not enough of those.
There's not. We're bringing that back.
We have all
You know.
kinds of stuff coming around.
You know what
that.
works great with those? When as soon as you get into the dark, turn your iPhone or your cell phone light on and
Yes.
hit it.
Yeah, that's how we show it.
Ooh, yeah, it blows
Yeah.
up.
We
do
show
that
people
to
like,
sell
hey.
the shirt. We show them, hey.
Okay. Even in
it's-
with the light on, you can still see how much it glows
Oh,
when
yeah.
you hit it with that.
Because everyone just looks at it, it's like, oh, that's just white. And it's like, no,
Yeah.
it's glow in the
Yeah.
dark. It's awesome.
Yeah, it's nuclear.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Yeah.
You will not
nuclear.
turn into a ghoul, though. Not enough radiation.
One can only hope. Maybe in the next batch of shirts.
That's right. That's right.
So speaking of the next batch of shirts that's in the future, when you look forward all the way into the future, maybe a year, 2 years, 10 years, 20 years, I don't know. What are the thoughts? What do y'all let yourselves think that much, or do you have to stay in the moment?
Well, he doesn't sleep, so yeah,
Yeah.
he's thought about it.
Yeah, I kind of live in the forward space,
Yeah.
and really, there are a lot of breweries out there. If I could just say this, that harken back, and we are a forward, in the future
Yeah.
oriented brewery. That's kind of where we're at. I hope I can influence that,
Mhm.
Yeah.
in our team here, and so we're always thinking about some of the new and different things that we can do, and that's including ingredients, right? Different things that we brew with, but then also, what do we do differently? How can we kind of synthesize the different offerings of what we have here,
Yeah.
amenity-wise, or all of this, and then there's the natural things about, and some have already done this, where they get into distillation or different types of product and all this, and that is coming. But right now we're still learning to walk and chew our gum, as it were. Yeah.
Yeah. So gum in the beer? Is that
No,
oh,
I was just
like a
yeah.
aged on?
You can get those esters from some yeast, so
Oh.
Yeah,
not like
no.
a aged on.
No,
gum.
no double bubble here.
Yeah,
Hubba Bubba Stout.
not our thing.
Okay.
We have a brewer that does the the candied things and what they do.
Yeah.
They do it well.
Mhm.
They own it. It's their bailiwick. I think in the future.
Mark that down. I think that's the first time Bailiwick
Oh, yeah.
used on this podcast ever.
Oh, yes.
So I think
Well, he is a wordsmith.
Oh,
So
maybe the first time
you know,
wordsmith has been used.
Yeah, lexicon, right?
That might-
Lexicon, Jered. You know?
We don't use a lot of words. We have like 17 that we kind of rehash.
Beer, craft,
Yeah.
yeast, hops,
Yeah.
water.
Uh-huh.
I like
But
that.
in our immediate future, I think the canning line is really next for us.
Mm.
And we're before distribution,
Yeah.
and so I think we need to get to that critical mass point, or in the market and all of this, and from there, that's the springboard to experiment and do some new things.
I mean, Spindle Tap kind of paved the way for the can release in Houston.
Oh, my goodness,
It's amazing
yeah. Oh,
what
yeah.
they have done. It's like, whoa, every 2 weeks, guys. This is
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah, and people, they clamor for it. I
they
mean, it's-
clamor for it. We got the email. They line up still to this day.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah, you're like, I wonder when this trend's going to... No, it's not a trend.
It's not a trend.
It's a
That's what I was
thing.
about to say. You beat me to it.
Yeah.
It's a lifestyle now.
That's
It's
something
the new normal.
Yeah, we've been trying to figure out, like, when are New England IPA is going to be done, or hazy IPA is going to be... They're not. They're here. That's
Yeah.
it. This is life.
I mean,
It's the
this
new
beer
normal.
right here was people asked for it. We brewed it.
Yeah. And it's great. I mean, it's, super tasty, and brew
Thanks.
more of it, I mean, that's... I don't know. I remember, like, we had the conversation on the show numerous times, like, it'll probably be done soonish.
Yeah.
Once people are done with it, because there's with brewers, especially if you've been around for a while, there may be a reluctance to jump in on the newest thing.
Yep.
Like glitter beers. Maybe they're still gonna come.
There are limits. Yeah.
But NEPAs, hazies, whatever they get called now, they need their own kind of spot, right?
Sure.
They just call them hazies.
Well, they've made their own footprint, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
that wasn't. It was a twist upon a style,
Mm-hmm.
and then now it's its own thing, and then there's all kinds of variation within that now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that's incredible and new, and I always refer to craft and its growth and all this as a resurgence. It really is not something that is new per se in our history, right? And so if you go back before this mass industrial 70s and 80s big macro breweries, there was cool local breweries in every town,
Yeah.
and they all had their own twist and style and all of this.
Yeah.
And so we're just seeing a modern resurgence of that.
Mm-hmm.
And because of the people that do these things, right?
Mm-hmm.
Then that's where you're seeing all of this new creativity and things like Dogfish Head. Dogfish Head is a kind of I don't know, how do you put this? As someone that we look up to, the things that they do. And were it not for them, would other breweries be doing what they're doing, right?
Yeah.
Not in the same way.
Not
No.
in the same way.
Yeah.
Right?
No, and visiting their brewery is incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sam has
And
done
Midas Touch.
Yeah.
Midas
come on.
Touch,
Oh.
Raisin Dextra. That's actually one of the kegs we have in the back on hold.
Yeah.
Because they haven't brewed in a few years, and
Yeah,
it's
they-
awesome.
Yeah, they've got so many good ones. But then that sequence ale that's my...
Oh yeah, Sequence is awesome.
That's my tradition. Mow the yard,
Mhm.
chug one, sip the second, and then,
Well,
look at-
look at
Only
60-minute, 75-minute, 90-minute, 120.
yeah, not six.
It's like we have
Yeah.
that. Those are staples.
Yeah.
Among
Well-
the craft brewers.
Well, and I thought about that when you said the port wine porter.
Sure.
They did the 61 minute where it was kind of the blend of, and I'm
Mhm.
like, I'd never, that was the first time I'd ever even. That came from them just sitting around a table, like, let's put a little bit of that into that, and see what,
Yeah.
and then they were like, oh, that's good. Now
I
let's
mean,
make it into a beer.
I visited them. I've been there twice now, and we asked them what was the weirdest thing that you've brewed with, and it said a moon rock. They threw a moon rock in the beer. I was like, what? Where'd you get a moon rock? And there's like some guy had it.
There you go.
You know?
I feel like here in Houston there should be some moon rocks laying. I mean, we got
Yeah.
NASA's right there.
Yes.
Wonder what other kind of rocks.
I mean, they
got.
let you touch it, but they don't let you
know.
leave with it.
Oh, maybe you
You
just
know.
need a little scrape.
Yeah.
Just take.
Hey, it's okay. Can I hit this chisel
Right.
right here?
You don't need to keep it. Just randle it through a little moon.
There you go.
Filter
We'll
it.
throw it in the whirlpool. You good?
Yeah.
And pull it out. There you go.
What-
Here's your moon rock back.
What flavor elements did moon rocks?
I don't know. Seems a little gritty, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gritty.
Definitely need a filter on that one.
Yeah. Seems like it would be cold.
Yeah.
Extra cold. I don't know. I'd be willing to drink it though. That's for sure. Well, guys, I don't want to take up too much of your time today. I know you've got screens to put up, and y'all were sweating pretty hard when I got here, and it almost looks like you've stopped. So
Yeah.
that's when I know it's time.
We're
to
sitting in the right spot, you know.
I know, right? It's
So-
nice. You got the fans on one side, and the AC blasting over there, and the cool beer, and
Yes.
just the cool environment. You know.
One day we will get another AC, people. You know, cooler weather is coming. So
I didn't even notice your ductwork is all with the wood and the stain and everything. That's
Yeah.
sharp.
Yeah.
Nice little soft
All
note there.
handmade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we built all of this by hand.
Yeah.
All of the woodwork and copper and everything that we've tried to do. Not literally everything, but we've tried very much to. When you walk in, you can see that it was handcrafted.
Uh-huh.
It was built. It wasn't. Not everything was Amazon.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that's you got to watch for that. That's one thing you can if you spend any time on Amazon, which I do because who doesn't?
Yeah,
Everybody
right.
does. You can kind of pick up on it, but yes, very authentic, personal touch, all of that. It's this. You're not going to see this replicated somewhere else. It's
a fingerprint.
it's Megaton and Megatons alone, and
Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah, thanks for that.
No, it shows it, and that's part of it. Because you got to get out here and enjoy it and try it and soak it in, everybody. So again, hours currently Friday, Saturdays, Sundays for football season.
Yep. Thursdays down the road.
Thursdays down the road, and delicious beers and inviting atmosphere, video games, air hockey,
Yeah,
Yep, pool table, cornhole.
comfy places to sit and talk about life or what have you. You can come dig your own ditch if you want, right? Is
Yeah.
that-
You'll earn a beer. That's for sure.
We do like yoga. We have live music with people who
live
do
music,
yoga.
yes, of course.
Other activities coming.
Yeah.
Whatever we think of.
Yeah. So if you're in this area, you've got to stop by. You've got to. The outdoor area looks great, and the weather's just around the corner from being around the corner.
Yeah.
You know? I get too excited. The kids are back in school, and it's like, all right, we're almost to like a month or two away from that weather. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
And then you get it for 4 weeks, and then it goes back to hot.
That's true.
It's like, welcome summer. Yay.
Yeah.
Again.
All right. Well, all right. So Megaton Brewery, everybody, come out and visit and try some beers and soak it all in, and maybe you'll sit at the bar next to somebody that worked on bombs or built a drone or can extol some, wisdom onto you or something.
Yeah. Or find Jered. He'll give you a tour. He likes to do that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So
Learn something.
Yes. So Jered tours, and Chris, will you just tell them the finer aspects of like screen,
Yeah.
Hanging.
I'll talk about anything.
whatever else is
So,
that?
The gaming.
Fallout. Yeah,
Fallout or movies or anything.
What genre of movies? What's your
Ooh.
favorite Patrick Swayze movie?
Oh, Roadhouse.
Thank you. All right, acceptable answer. Also, Point Break.
Point Break,
Also
yeah.
acceptable answer. But that would some people say that's Keanu Reeves.
Yeah.
Some people would even say it's Gary Busey because he kind of
Yeah.
that when you think about the star power in that movie,
Sure.
it's a reason people say it's the greatest bank heist surfer movie of all
Yeah,
time.
That's
bar
a
none.
strange
Yes.
dude. Yeah.
Gary. Oh yeah.
Those teeth.
Yeah. Doesn't he live in Texas? Oklahoma? I don't know.
I have no idea.
Somewhere. He's from
I
Oklahoma.
don't know. Is his nickname Jaws?
I don't know.
Should be.
Yeah.
I don't know. His son looks just like him too.
He does.
Yeah, I think his son was in Roadhouse 2 to tie it all back in together, which not as good as the original.
Can't be.
No.
Never is. Just like
That's impossible.
2010, we make contact. Nothing compared to 2001. So,
Oh yeah. No.
yeah.
All right. But these are the kind of conversations you'll have when you come to Megaton Brewery,
There
everybody.
you go.
So we'll wrap it there and let you guys get back to work, making delicious beers and continuing to make this an awesome place for people to come visit.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you.
Thank y'all. So for Jered and Chris, my name is Josh. Megaton Brewery in Kingwood, everybody. This is InterBrews.
This is InterBrews.
One last time, this is where I say, don't forget that Patreon page if you want to support the show. And if not, hey, just thanks for listening. Tell a friend if you want. No, we're not. Whatever. I'm not people. All right. Love you. Bye.
The preceding has been a presentation of Stewed Productions.